I was happened to be listening to a local radio show and heard one of their announcers say what a cupcake Elon would be. And I'm just telling you, that team right there is going to win a lot of games this year. They have so many components that are tough to guard. They really, they got all these shooters out there. They got great guard play, an excellent coach. That was a really good win for us. I know people look at these guarantee games, and this is actually part of the Atlanta's tournament. That team is going to be a great RPI win for us because they got I really feel they can have it. Unless they have injuries, it's going to be very good. They play a motion offense, which you don't see. You used to see that stuff all the time. You don't see it much anymore. It was almost like guarding a Princeton. So yesterday, our scout team just got us pretty good. They practiced for 2 days on it, and they were getting layups or open threes, layups or open threes. And I credit our kids a great amount because they looked at the film. We talked more. We had a busy day today. They were coming over between classes, watching the video, and I just love the way they responded. Still didn't stop them. They still scored 68, 46%. But frankly, we could good thing that we could make all our so many three-point shots and get away from them.
Ladd, why don't you start us off?
I think Derek and Duncan took 12 threes in this one tonight. Was there any particular key to them shooting that well?
No, I mean confidence right now. I think the other day Duncan and Derek, they did not shoot the ball well. I think hopefully it'll be different. I love everybody every game to shoot like that, but it's going to be different people that are going to have those type of nights. But Derek, in some of our shooting drills, Derek is exceptional, but he's got a lower percentage than he's going to have. He probably has his lowest percentage ever from what I think he can have in the future. But he's got to be wanting to shoot it. He's got to take, have that swag that I'm a really good shooter. But when you hesitate, you lose all that.
Chris?
20 assists on 31 shots. The way you shared the ball, can you talk about that?
There was some, we had issues early in practice with the ball sticking at different spots. And then one guy would just take that extra minute. It's really important we look for each other so that there was not much sticking today. Everybody just kept the ball moving, found the open man. It happened to be Duncan. Derek took some off the shot clock ones off the bounce that is huge to have with that shot clock. And so that's a whole different thing. So we need that from him, from Karras, Spike, all those things, to be able to shoot one in late.
And then Zach still seems to be shaking up a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, he looked great out there. He looked terrific. Our defense changed. The minute he walked in that game, our defense just changes. So he's so much more. I do not want him, or I'm not anymore measuring by whether he made threes. I want to measure him his defense, his rebounding, his passing, all those things. And him as a shooter, that will all come. But I thought his shot looked great. They just didn't go in. But he's battled back here from all the way to July, August, September, October, and now November. Finally, be able to play a little bit. So it's good we got him in there for 15 minutes.
Swing over here to John.
Just a little follow-up on Derek. He said that his teammates and coaches are urging him to be aggressive. How much different of a player is he when he's like that?
You'll watch him play. Whenever we see that in all our action, his shoulders are turned towards the sideline, it means he's looking to pass. You got to turn your shoulders towards the basket, look like you can still pass, but you got to be aggressive. You have to go downhill and read. And so the fine line between running a play and being a player is the thing that we're working with him on, and he's got to have the confidence to do it. I mean, it was a big game for him to be able to do that today.
Swing over to Brendan.
You mentioned that with Zach coming back, it was kind of one of those deals that he needed to come to you and say he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you commonly do, or is that kind of a veteran deal?
Well, I think in an injury situation, you're in a very, very difficult area there. It could be chancy. That kid, if you're telling him you're ready, and he doesn't think he's ready, and there's an injury, that's not good business. So we want to just back off. And yesterday, he just sort of, yesterday he came to me, he came to me the day before, said he wanted to play. I said, sleep on it. Tell me the first thing on Sunday when we start our practice, tell me whether you're going to play. And he said, I still want to play. So and then in practice, he got poked in the eye by Coach Val, of all people, and he was in the locker room again with this sort of a closed eye. So it's been a rough thing for him, but he had so many things to our team that are intangible. It's important he's out there.
Swing over to Simon.
You talked about the 5 position being going to be competitive for minutes. Do you have any more takeaways after today watching those guys go?
I like what Maurice is doing. He comes in there, he weighed 231 today, so we're now plus 20 from me when he walked in, plus 20. So he is on a different weightlifting thing. I like what he did. You know, Mark took charges. Ricky, you know, Ricky had 2 rebounds, a rebound and a dunk. They have both hands on the ball way above the rim, right? And then DJ played a little bit there. DJ struggled some other areas today. He's just got to sort of concentrate on less things. But I like the way Mo looks like right now.
Is that still going to be something where it's kind of by committee, or?
No, we'll hope we'll get a rotation. We can't be rotating 4 guys there. Somebody's going to beat somebody out, and we'll go with 2 or 3. Usually need 3, right? But we'll go with 2 primarily, and a 3rd guy will back it up, and a 4th guy will have to wait his turn.
We'll stay there and go back with Sam.
Kind of onto that point, you had 12 guys play at least 7 minutes tonight. I know traditionally you say
Yeah.
7 to 8 kind of
Yeah.
is in your wheelhouse.
Yeah,
when
with
does that start to
Zach's,
whittle down?
yeah, with Zach's emergence here the last couple weeks, I mean, Zach's had no rotation at all. So now throwing him in there, we just try to make sure we're still everybody's in this period where we're finding out what group works the best, who is adapting the best, who's applying the best of what we're trying to teach, and then we're measuring it. And we'll get to a group, and then somebody will beat somebody else out. But we'll get to that. You know, this game, we had a good lead, and I was trying to get guys rest as well. That's the whole idea, is get Karras down to 32 to 34, Derek 32, 34. And, you know, Aubrey's probably going to be at 30 or something like that. Depends on how much we can multi-position. Duncan.
Swing back over to Brendan.
With Derek and all these different pieces that you have, and you want to get everyone involved, you kind of want to see what everyone can do. With him getting his, what do you say to him about the balance of being the scorer,
Yeah.
being the pass
I-
point guard that he's usually been?
You know, I don't want to make analogies to Trey Burke, but Trey was really good at sort of hunting a little bit more off a ball screen. And that hunting mentality is something that he has to have. You know, I think Trey was more a scorer who played point guard, and Derek's more of a point guard who can score. We gotta keep getting him being more aggressive, because you can see it's a beautiful jump shot. So he's got to have that in his arsenal. So people don't hedge hard anymore. They stay back and dare you to shoot it, and he can really shoot it. We got to encourage that.
Come down front with Alan.
Coach, just talk about the guard play between Derek and Karras and all the run games that they had today.
Well, you know, we missed them a lot last year, and what I liked best about both of them was their defense. Though they have a great plan, and those guards, they played double point guards, they had shooters. You had guys that were shooters, you had guys that were drivers. They were going to drive the ball on us as well, so we couldn't get in foul trouble. They're growing every day. That was good for us. And they're not taking many reps off in practice. That's a concern, but it is in our practice are competitive. They just got to continue to just really eat right, sleep right, get their rest, because they're going to play a lot of minutes this year.
We got time for a few more. Chris?
Talked about Duncan a little bit, multi-position. Seems really comfortable on the left side.
Yeah.
How far has he come?
But I think defensively right now, it's still a work in progress, because you got to figure out all the actions that are coming up and then still guard your man. And it's paralyzing him. And so he's got to be able to use his length. He's not going to have great quickness, but he's got to use his brains to defend people. And he's still learning all about that. But that's a big piece right now. But somehow he still gets his rebounds. Somehow he still just does a few of the right things. And he might give up a few twos, but if he can stretch that defense, right, to get threes or get Karras to the rim because they won't leave him, that's a big thing.
Swing over here to Jacob.
Derek said something about this year being a year of accountability. If you make a mistake, there's always somebody right behind you.
Yeah.
Is that something you've been pushing so far this
Since
season?
day one.
And what
Since day one.
situations is that kind of referred to?
Yeah, every day we've been keeping charts, and we know who's won every single game, whether it's a shooting game, we've been on that. And there's been times though still that I thought our progress has been really slow, way too slow. And we've been holding everybody accountable. You got subs ready to come, but we still, our learning curve's got to increase. We can't just keep bumping our head on a ceiling. We got to push through that, and several of our guys haven't been able to do that. But they are held accountable for it, much different than, okay, they're freshmen, we can't do anything else, just try and, they got to come along at their own pace.
Is that a lot on the defensive end of things?
mostly defense, or just offensively, just understand how hard you gotta play on offense too. You gotta run a lane hard, you gotta cut hard, you gotta see the open man, there's times you stay in the office, sometimes you get overboard. They're figuring all those things out.
Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thanks, everyone.